Hey everyone, happy Easter and happy holidays all around. Hope you guys had a good one. My name is CollegeSportsREVIVED and I appreciate you spending some of your day with me here on the road to NBA 2K22 series here on the PlayStation 5, episode number 91 today. We finally knocked out Cade Cunningham and the Wizards last episode. Game 3 was a shootout in the fourth quarter, but we just pulled it out with me tossing 15 assists. And then in Game 4, it was all orange and blue. In our final meeting, I got the last laugh on Cade, holding him to 3 for 12 shooting, while I was able to assist Fron in his 43-point performance in this closeout effort. In the top half of the Eastern Conference, the Heat were down 2-1 last episode on the brink of elimination, but thanks to big Brandon Ingram performances, they barely avoided a first-round exit with Ingram dropping 30 in Game 5. Chicago and Boston were in a winner-go-home Game 5 with the C's pulling out a 7-point road win as Tatum led all scorers with 25, and then the Nets are fresh off the only sweep in the East as an intense all-New York City conference semifinals will be tipping off today. As you guys know, this very well may be the final season of the Road to NBA 2K series, and with that, this might be the final Fitz versus Lillard matchup, and that's turned into one of the most classic battles in the history of this series. So many legendary games between me and Lillard over the years, and with this series perhaps being in the last chapter, this could be one for the ages. And as you can tell, Lillard was dying for one more battle, posting 33 a night in the Hawk sweep to make sure he didn't miss me. I bet you guys know that Lillard would be dying to knock me out here to end the Road to 2K series a little bit prematurely. So we're going to open with two games in the Garden today. Knicks versus Nets, Fitz versus Lillard. Let's get what might be the last chapter of this legendary rivalry popping today. Let's go.
Yeah. Shout out to all my enemies. I hope y'all listening. Distant memories, breaking down my history. Shout out to my enemies, y'all give me my energy. Distant memories, breaking down my history. Shout out to my enemies, y'all give me my energy, my energy. What my mind is, that I'll never know. My past sucks, man, now I struggle, let it go. My mother always
It's definitely easy to get caught up in all the emotions in this series. When I start thinking about all the legendary games Lillard and I have battled in. He was the first ever point guard I faced as a starter in my rookie year. My first ever playoff series, also as a rookie, came against him. We also had that incredible conference finals back in season 4 when Rashawn Holmes hit the game-winning layup to send us Pelicans to the finals on a live stream. There's so many classic games, but as you guys know, whether we win a title or not, this will more than likely be the last season of this series. So win or loss, let's go out with a bang, shall we? As we earn the first possession of the conference semifinals, all New York City. We're about to get it underway, and here's our first offensive possession, coming off an awesome offensive series against the Wizards. As I'm coming off 2 baseline screens, I find another from top, and as I'm stepping it back, handing it off inside to the rolling Obi. Yes, Obi played a huge role last episode, especially in Game 4. He played like a franchise center. He had 13 points, 2 blocks, and the game-winning layup in Game 4, and that was also the assist work of Montrezl Harrell setting him up as here comes Lillard for his first basket of the conference semifinals. And of course, just like always, it seems like I'm always facing Lillard at the wrong time. He averaged 33 in that Washington series, or rather the Atlanta series, with only Ferran coming up as a close second in all active players and amongst all first-round series. So Lillard is going to be a tough task, just like always. As I receive a screen here, a little stop and go move behind around the body dish. I almost said behind the back, but that was still a flashy one out to Obi Toppin to take a 9-7 lead. As we jump ahead a little bit, we now have 6 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. This one's off as I collect my first rebound to go along with my 3 assists here in the early goings. And how about 2 points on the board as well? I hit Damian Lillard with a nice little street ball move. I took him back to the blacktop over just a borough over where I used to play every single day growing up with my friends. Yeah, that one was one I worked on a lot as a kid, you can tell. You can just tell when one comes inspired from some blacktop and YMCA play. So we'll move along here. 15 up with 4 minutes left to play. Donnie draws a double team. Great vision to find Ferran to rip one clean. Fresh off of his 43-point performance, his highest playoff output in his career. Time out Brooklyn as we step aside for a little bit, coming back in, and a lot of offense. No surprise there. These are two really potent offensive teams. 37-35. Knicks on top. Joe Harris hits nothing but net in the wrong fashion. That one falls right into the hands of Top, and as we get started looking for some early offense, as I draw two defenders, tough shot, no good, but it's Harrell on the glass for a third chance at it. Harrell has been playing awesome. I love what he's brought to this team ever since that Cade Cunningham trade, and he takes on 4 Brooklyn Nets to score some very courageous points right there. So now up by 6 with 6 minutes to play here. It's Ferran with the parallel pick and roll. Good kick out to Obi Toppin, wide open, and that one is automatic. You'd expect nothing less from the series that Toppin had just last series. He had 5 threes on that Washington series, looking to get going here as he looks for another one. Jab step, pops it, and he rips another one clean. 6 straight points unanswered by Obi himself. 15 on the night, already eclipsing his highest output from the 4-game Wizards series as he's hot. Look at this. How about we're trying to pick and roll? They're trying to cover Obi Toppin, but you can't leave Ferran wide open as well. 63-50. How about the Knicks start to take off? We look unstoppable on the offensive end as Steve Nash burns another timeout. And once again, we will step aside as I check out for the rest of the first half, and we'll see how the bench does. Up by 13 here, and as we enter the locker room, it will be a 12-point game, 70 points put up. Oh my goodness, I love the start today for the Orange and Blue Brigade as we take a look at some of these box scores with Obi putting up 20 first half points. Oh my goodness, he added 5 more whenever I checked out. 4 threes made on the game. He only had 5 in the Washington series. Pretty incredible as Ferran also tallied 16 and 5. I've got 6 and 6 myself. Donovan Gray doing it in 3 columns pretty effectively. And looking for the Brooklyn Nets side of things, Lillard 3 for 8. And he's not hit any of his 4 attempts from 3. Gotta love what I've been bringing on the defensive end, and that's really a big difference because I feel like if Lillard was, moving and grooving and doing his thing, it'd be a much different score, as Lillard will try to do that here on the first possession, stepping to his right. That didn't take long for him to make a 3 and try to get things back on track. So Brooklyn back down by only single digits. Nice backdoor feed, it's Donnie. We had over 20 team assists, and that's why right there. 21, in fact, in the first half there. And yeah, everyone's sharing the sugar. And Montrez continues to make play after play. 78 points already. One more basket, and we can hit 80, and there it is right there. Look, we're coming off a series where we scored at least 117 points in games 2, 3, and 4 after only scoring 89 in game 1. So obviously this offense is scorching hot. And that reigns true today. Another basket can get us to 90 already. As Ferran looking to kick it out, but he is fouled. So once again, I will hit the bench. Hopping back in the 4th quarter, and it's Brooklyn making it a game, 97-92. On paper, it really seems like we're a lot deeper of a team. Obviously, the Nets have their big 3, but outside of that, they have a lot of guys who are a little past their prime. LA, Blake Griffin, Paul Millsap, etc., Patty Mills. So it's clear who the more deep team is, but it seems like the bench kind of letting them back into it a little bit. Nice find by KD as we try to bring a double. It's Irving going backdoor. He's been a little bit more quiet than usual, you might expect, but there he is getting one up on our defense. And now here comes the Knicks offense. And like that, Brooklyn stopping to score and they can retake the lead, but this is a tough gather. Stepping to my left, and I'm still knocking it through. Been pretty effective and efficient today. Perhaps you'd want me to shoot more as we cling onto a slim lead. KD with momentum. Great job by Toppin. Might have gotten away with a foul there, but we're just going to ignore that. I whip one inside to Montrezl Harrell, and there is a layup that is off the mark, and I feel like ball doesn't lie there. They kind of deserve that after KD got hacked there on the last possession, and he throws an assist to Lillard to put Brooklyn up 100-99. For a second there, we were going to coast to a victory, but not so fast, says this Brooklyn big three. But coming back after the timeout, it's Montrezl Harrell pacing up the floor with me as KD caught cheating there a little bit. I'm not really sure what he was doing as I approach a double-double. Now the big three checks back in as Donnie re-enters the floor with 7 minutes left to play, 9 to shoot on this possession. It's kind of a broken play here, and I give this one off to Toppin, who's just sitting pretty 13 feet away from the basket. 10 points, 10 assists as the Knicks retake the lead, but not so fast once again, says Brooklyn. And you're going to expect to see a lot of this with just how potent these offenses are. It's Donovan one-on-one against Joe Harris. This is something we've got to take more advantage of. It's 4 seconds to shoot on this possession. 3, 2, 1. I just get it off as it swirls in and out. Definitely an ugly possession at a time when we don't need one. It's Joe Harris. Here comes Toppin, pinning it off the glass. Ferran up to me as I'm looking for assistance. It's the trailer Donnie taking the lead. Yes. We got 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. It's been an exciting fourth quarter. A lot of lead changes as Steve Nash burns a timeout. This is all New York City basketball at its finest. We knew it was going to be a battle between me and Lillard. Here comes Irving. Kick out to Blake Griffin. Wide open, but it does not fall. Donnie's hot on the glass as I put a nice move on Lillard. I collect. Tough take, and somehow it drops for me. Yes, 2 more points. How about it? The offense is clicking, but it all starts on the defensive side of the floor. I know you saw the bottom of the screen. Yes, Lillard all of a sudden has 33 points, but we gotta try to stop the entirety of this big three. I've been doing a lot of helping out on other guys. We've been doing a pretty good job on Durant and Kyrie. They've been almost non-factors until the fourth quarter, but now with Lillard, he was killing our bench, and now he's gotten hot for the fourth quarter as Blake Griffin finds Pater. From the top of the key, Brooklyn will not miss. 3:20 left to go, 111-109. Ball in the hands of Ferran. He's been a fourth quarter hero a couple times. But I want to run this possession through Donnie. We got to make good on this Joe Harris mismatch. Donnie a little passive at first, goes back into the post. What a move on Joe Harris. And 1 for Donnie G. Assist number 11, and it comes at a perfect time. Look at the little shoulder fake. He faked like he was going to spin towards the baseline, goes middle. And whenever Donnie gets the middle, should just say goodnight, man. It's too late for you. 112-111. Lillard tries for 2 more. Finally, somebody misses on Brooklyn as we grab the rebound. Toppin gives it to me to set up our troops. And I've got Blake Griffin on me. Oh, this is an easy matchup, right? Should be total butter, but it's not. It's a horrible turnover, and I'm not even close to getting back and recovering on Lillard. There's 3 points for Brooklyn. How am I going to respond to that? Total blunder. Oh my goodness, how do I recover from that? That is the worst time to turn over the ball. An embarrassing play there as I get the back pick from Toppin. Cut back door. Ferran finds me for a 3-point play. That's how you recover. I get those 3 points right back. And it was all thanks to Ferran setting me up with a beautiful dish. How about this free throw giving me 15 points and giving the orange and blue the lead right back. I feel like a broken record. We keep switching leads, switching sides. It's 117 now apiece. Looking to set up Ferran, but the Brooklyn Nets defense closes the gap nicely. Plus, they switched that off the ball, so I'm trying to find Donnie, as now he has 2 guards on him. The first attempt doesn't go, but he tips it right back up and in. I love it. More hustle points for the Knicks. Brooklyn was last in the NBA this year in rebounds. That's something we're going to have to take advantage of. 119-117. We're approaching 60 seconds left to play. It's Irving one-on-one with my boy Ferran. Now with half the shot clock off, it's Joe Harris for 3. Again, they're killing us from behind the line. That is a play we could not afford. You give up anything but a 3 there. Now you're playing from behind. It's Ferran coming off a screen. He wants to answer back, and he does. Another big shot. It's Ferran pumping up the garden. You already know who that ball is going to whenever we need that three. That floppy screen play is awesome. We run that so much in practice. Lillard rushing it, and he's off the mark. We've practiced this floppy screen play countless times in practice, and you're starting to see the effectiveness. Are we going to go to it again? It looks like that's the case. 33 seconds left. Ferran going back for three. Yes! It's New York running away with it. Again, we only need one more stop, and we can get out of here unscathed. And you know what? That would be exactly what the doctor ordered. Brooklyn does not score in the last 33 seconds, and we come out on top 127-120 in an intense game one as we just fend off the Brooklyn Nets comeback hopes. 28 points for Ferran. Again, I mean, just over and over again. You know, you can count on him to at least flirt with 30 points. But me, I started coming around in the fourth there, 9 points, 7 assists, and so did Donnie G. He added 11 and 5 after being quiet for the first 3 quarters, at least on the offensive end. He was red hot when it came to rebounding and playmaking. He was awesome. Fourth quarter came around, we saw some fourth quarter Donnie action as well. But one thing to keep in mind going into game 2, my game plan has to be centered around Lillard with 30 second half points. I checked back in the fourth quarter. I held him only 4 for 10 in the fourth, but just the fact that the bench came in and he started to finally get hot, and then, you know, everything else happened. I just gotta work on, you know, trying not to get Lillard to that point. Obviously, I'm not on him all the time, but at the same token, I gotta try better to try to keep Lillard out of it. So looking at the playoff bracket, Miami takes game 1 as Brandon Ingram again goes for 30. And Deshaun drops 22 in the first matchup with my former team, the New Orleans Pelicans, as we hop right back into this series because this game 2 was one for the ages. As you can see, Brooklyn makes the bus ride over from a borough over, and we're ready to hop into another game. Fitz versus Lillard. Let's get right into it, boys. So, first possession, we see Ferran already attacking LaMarcus Aldridge inside to no avail. And it would be Brooklyn wearing their alternates as Ferran gets back and he blocks KD. And me and Obi swarm Lillard at the timeline, force him to step back court, and we get a free possession. Look at Ferran playing some D early. I love it. Never forget about the two-way presence Ferran and Donovan both bring to this team. That's why we're so awesome on the defensive side of the floor as I begin the game with 2 free throws and then an awesome Euro step layup on LA. And the Knicks have now scored the first 7 unanswered points as Montrez gets in the path of KD. No baskets for Brooklyn so far. We're trying to stay hot. It'll be Ferran stepping it back. This one's a little bit long, but I'm crashing the glass. I grab an offensive board and I'll put it back in. How about 2 more? I've got 2 free throws, 2 buckets, an assist to Obi Toppin for 3. We open up the game up 9-0, but it wouldn't take that long for Brooklyn to reposition themselves back into this ball game. Look at this, get a little bit too fancy on that assist attempt to Toppin, and here comes KD for a 3-point play opportunity. Just like that, Brooklyn, you're starting to see their spurt ability, as if you didn't see it last game, with them making it so competitive all of a sudden. You're starting to see it again, as here comes Montrezl Harrell looking for revenge on KD. He curled hard off that screen and attacked Durant immediately. The fearless play continues with Montrez. I love what he brings to this team. As I check back in now in the second quarter, and we're actually now the ones starting to fight just to try to stay alive. 44-35 now, it's Brooklyn flirting with a 10-point lead for most of the first half as Ferran struggled so far, but he hits one from the parking lot to hopefully get him going. There's assist number 6 for me already. That is a pretty crooked tally already, and we're only, you know, a couple minutes into the second quarter. As Donovan switches back on to KD, this possession, nice behind the back dish. Oh my goodness, how do you cover that? Brooklyn again cashes in from behind the line. We need to extend our defense out. They're not going to kill us inside the arc with most of these guys. We have to try to prioritize this perimeter attack as I hit a tough jumper over Lillard to give me 10 points, 6 assists, making half my shots in 6 attempts. 50-40, Brooklyn's still up. We are flying by here in the second quarter. A lot of highlights to show you, including this one. It's Donnie from the corner. With Ferran struggling, now it's Donnie G having a big first half, 50-43. But once again, the question has been on the defensive side, can we get stops? I almost got one there, but Lillard grabs it, sweeps through, takes it all the way, and switches hands on Ferran and company inside. There's been a lot of that so far, and here's another 2 points for Lillard. There's been a lot of that so far, a lot of lucky deflections going Lillard's way. He'll get past me, nobody will call out the screen. He's now at 17 in the first half of this one, and most of these 17 are on me. As I get past Lillard, and it's Toppin. He will cut to the ball, misses the layup, gets it back, and puts it in for another chance at a three-point play the old-fashioned way. A lot of grit inside shown by the Knicks on the offensive end, a lot of three-point possessions as we take this one to the half down by 9. And it would be me leading the Knicks in points and assists, 12-8 for me. I know I've been going through this first half pretty quick. I've been able to show you all my dimes so far, but I'm feeling awesome with my playmaking. Topping with 11. Donovan, I told you he had a big first half, and there you go. He's on a way to a pretty mean double-double if he keeps this up. But Ferran, 2 for 11 shooting. You know, this entire playoff run, it's just come so naturally. It's been kind of, you kind of take it for granted after a while how good Ferran has played, how many points he's scored, and how effective we are as a team whenever he's dropping 30 a night. But on a night like this, when he doesn't have it so far, and we have to maybe look in another direction, well, we're gonna have to see how we bounce back. I mean, you kind of see it on the scoreboard a little bit. When Ferran's not there, when his head's not in it, we're down by 12 like we are now. So it's gonna be up to Ferran to try to get things going. And I think this is a pretty good way to begin that endeavor. Nice slam by Ferran to inch me closer to 10 assists, and it wouldn't take too much longer for me to grab that. So I already had a double-double with 8 minutes to play in the third. But obviously my stats come second as the team comes first, trying to get back into the lead. Donovan with 15 as he ties me for the team's top scorer on the day. Timeout Brooklyn. So it's now a 10-point game. Are we going to look to Ferran continuously in hopes he gets it going? Or are we going to look in the direction of another New York Knick? Well, it's Joe Harris after an Obi Toppin miss. Inside! Toppin cannot swat that pass away. LaMarcus Aldridge somehow beats him with the floor. Come on, Toppin, you're 22. How does that happen? So we're going to move on a little bit here. Now down by 14. Checking back in. We're just looking for a spark right now as I flash the ball. What a screen by Montrezl Harrell, knocking over number 0. He cuts to the basket, dunks one down with 2 hands. Montrezl Harrell quickly becoming a fan favorite. Yes, you have this big 3 on the New York Knicks, but it's always been about the secondary pieces in this series. This very talented Knicks team that won 57 games this year has been no exception. So, 87-77. Lillard is red hot. He's looking for an assist, and this one's on me. I should have stepped out and covered Kyrie Irving. We gotta try to prioritize these 3 balls and try to stop them, as it's once again a Baker's dozen lead for the Brooklyn Nets. Boban now checks in, and so does Pascal the Rascal. So it's the big 3 with 2 reserves out there. Eric Pascal finds me, and now I want to get into the 3-point fun. Let's go. I was pretty effective from 3 in that Wizards series. Didn't take many, but I made a majority of them. And here we go. There's my first 3 of this Brooklyn Nets series. Here comes Lillard, who drops in 2 more, of course. No matter what I do, I'm trying my best to stay in front of him, but he just finds these angles and gets these speed boosts. It's so hard to contain. As me and Donnie continue to do some good work here on the perimeter. Hands it off to me. I'm looking for a screen from number 3. 10 seconds left to shoot, and they sell out for me, which means I got Donnie to dump it off too. Absorb some contact, and it'll be more 3-point play opportunities for the New York Knicks. This time, Donnie going back to the line. Or of course he'll knock it down. And perhaps it was the 3-point play and Montrezl Harrell's screen that, shook up Damian Lillard a little bit there, that helped us get some momentum, and now we're the ones knocking on the door of a big 4th quarter comeback. So we'll see if we can return the favor this time around, and unlike the Nets, not fall short. So down by 6 as we're under 10 minutes to play here, as Toppin goes for the lob on the baseline. Yes! Love the way he slipped that screen, and it was way too easy. Assist number 15 already for me. I'm approaching a playoff high. I never had more than 15 in the Wizards series, as this one is snatched. And look at my rearview mirror. I see Toppin. Let's run it back. Let's go, Toppin. Oh, how did you miss the lob attempt? We were trying to go back to back there. Oh, what a mistake in this point in the ball game. Lillard popping up as the Nets try to look to make us pay for the Toppin miss, and it will be Lillard once again going deep into his bag of tricks for 2 more. As he approaches 30, not much I could do about that one. Oh my goodness. Hopefully that Toppin miss does not extinguish this momentum we've been building for ourselves and working so hard for. It's 6 minutes left to play as Donovan is gassed. He continues to get a rest. Quentin Grimes still out on the floor as Montrezl Harrell plays the 4. Toppin slides to the 5 as look at Ferran. A lot of contact there as he cuts back door, but he helps me out there, and it's another miracle assist. There's 16 as Ferran's at 15 points. Crowd starts to chant a little bit here. They're happy to see number 3 checking back in. He needed that rest. Donnie played an awesome 3 quarters. So that break was warranted, but now with 5 minutes left to go, we got the starters back out on the floor, and again we're going to this play right here. Tom Thibodeau loves this play for me, but the Brooklyn Nets are playing it. So Toppin, tough post move on LA, does not get it to drop, and again Brooklyn can go up by 2 possessions as Toppin's been struggling here in the second half, but it's a steal by Harrell. Bounce pass to Obi. He's not missing this one. Oh my goodness, what a tomahawk jam. Somehow I fit this pass inside of number 0. I was pressuring Lillard in the backcourt there, and it was all worth it when I saw him throw the pass into the hands of Montrez. That's now 17 assists for me. 7 seconds on this possession. It's Lillard who has to force one up, just rimming out, and a big rebound by Ferran. And I'm open for 3, looking for the lead, and it's just not happening this time. It felt good out of the hand, but we're going to have to wait to potentially take this lead. So here we go. It'll be Ferran setting things up. Dribble handoff for Donovan. I'm coming off a screen. I think about it this time, but I think better of it. Working off top and screen, and this one's another green light jump shot. Whether passing or assisting my teammates, this has been one of the best playoff games I've ever played, I feel. This is one of those games I've just done no wrong pretty much. And I'm putting everything out there that I have to try to win this game and go up 2-0. It's Kevin Durant who tries to put Toppin in a blender and then takes his lunch money as he jams it on him. Ah, man, it's been a tough second half for Toppin, shooting 20%, and now an embarrassing dunk by Kevin Durant. Hope it doesn't shake his confidence. As here comes Ferran, it'll be a tough jumper that he gets to fall. New York retakes the lead, 115 to 113. Eventually, we go back to 117 apiece. So this is feeling awfully eerily similar to game 1. 117 left to go as both scores say 117 until Lillard dunks down 2 more and embarrasses pretty much our entire defense there. He's now at 33 points. And this floppy screen for Ferran. You already know the results. How does he keep doing it? It's just the countless hours that me and Ferran have spent on that play in practice that helps us get it done. So with 45 seconds left, Steve Nash burns one, and Brooklyn takes the ball, takes the possession, looking for a basket to once again tie this game. So they'll have it sideline inbound. Joe Harris will be the one passing it in, and curling off a screen is a number of options, but it will go inside to Irving. Then they get it around to the man of the hour. It's Dame time. Dame Lillard, this is where he makes his money. 37 seconds left in the ball game. LA sets the screen, looking for the tie, and it rims out. A beautiful stop. Awesome defense there by the Knicks. We haven't seen a lot of defense played in this series, but that was definitely warranted at this point. So now, who will deliver the dagger? Won't be Ferran. Double comes, kicking it out to Obi for the win. Ah, how did he miss that? Ah, Toppin. He struggled in the second half. 10 seconds left to play. 9, 8. Lillard, last chance today. He puts me in a blender now, and he dunks it down with 2 hands. We were this close to going up 2 games, being 1 game away from the conference finals, but who else but Lillard? He's been bringing the big guns all episode long, and this is no exception. We got 4.5 seconds left to work with. It's 123 apiece. Regulation or overtime, how will this game be decided? It's time to find out. Now, I've played one of the best games of my entire career. Will this ball stay in the hands of me? Well, let's see. 3 seconds left. Trying to go for the win. At the elbow, it's a good-looking shot, but it hits back iron and drops out. All right, well, I guess it's fitting that we decide this game in an extra period of play. Some free basketball coming your way. Let's see who will be moving on as Brooklyn strikes first in the overtime period. I enter the extra period of play, 1 assist away from a 2020 game. Mind search that here on this first possession. Well, I see Fordham wide open in the left corner. Taking Lillard to school, help comes, and that's way too easy. That's a warm-up jump shot for Fordham if I've ever seen one. Up by a point, KD will be wide open from just inside the free throw line. I had to play the potential kick around to Lillard there. Cannot give up any more threes. They've just been killing us from behind the line. It'll be Donnie looking for me, curling off a screen, and this one is going to be 2 more points. Yes. Once again, I find pay dirt. 25 and 20. This has to be one of the top games of my career, but it won't matter if we can't get the win. Lillard off the mark. Donnie collects. And perhaps the Knicks looking for some more early offense. Look at this pass, whipping inside to Toppin. What a look there to give me 21 on the night. Toppin having a nice little overtime period, a couple big rebounds, and now big baskets. And now Joe Harris switches on me after the pick and roll defense kind of falters a little bit. They got Donnie with Lillard on him. They got mismatch all across the board, but we can't take advantage of it. Ferran's forced into a bad shot. As we're just under 2 minutes to go, I grab the board, and I'm going back up for another chance. Oh my goodness, another offensive rebound. What can't I do tonight? I've been producing in so many areas, and perhaps that's resulted in this right here. Only for the second time in my entire career, I'm warranting some MVP chance. 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Up by 3, just under 2 to play. Let's get some stops. All this is awesome. My performance, MVP chance, the comeback, but it doesn't matter if we can't D up on the perimeter. It's Joe Harris, Eric Paschall getting some minutes in favor of Montrezl Harrell right now, but clearly he just does not pack that same defensive punch. He allows the 3 there as he's still on the floor instead of Montrezl Harrell. I'm trying to find Ferran here. Once again on that floppy screen. He'll take it inside, and a little hot potato between Ferran and Donnie G. Number 3 keeping his head up for a colossal assist, putting us back up by a bucket with 31 seconds left to go. Once again, game 2 hangs in the balance between these 2 star-studded New York teams. Come on, let's D up here. Let's finally D up. 30 seconds left to play. 137, 135 as Ferran continues to play defense. I know his offense hasn't been there the entirety of tonight, but there's no doubt in my mind he's playing some defense since the opening tip. Inside, it's Lillard who kicks it out as it's now 22 seconds left to play. Inside, how does he take me off the dribble and score through both me and Ferran? How did that take go down? Once again, we have a chance of getting it done. The last possession of the game is in our hands for the second time. We'll see if we can not come up empty for a second time. That would be nice. 16 seconds left. 15, 14. I'm sitting on the ball. Trying to go up 2 games here against the Nets. Trying to give it to Donnie with 8 seconds left. He wants some more ball movement. Paschall over to Ferran. 3, 2, 1. Ferran for the win. Oh, it's off the back iron. It looked a lot like my shot at the end of the first chance we had to win this game. So we're gonna have to decide game 2 with a fresh 4 minutes on the clock. 8 total minutes of overtime ball that we're gonna play today, at least, as Lillard and company win the tip, and he comes out firing immediately. He's starting to cool down a little bit, but we got to take advantage. Up ahead to me, Joe Harris bites for the pump fake. A lot of contact here as LaMarcus Aldridge. I draw the foul on the veteran. So 2 more free throws for me. No standing ovation, no MVP chance either, but calm, cool, and composed. I inch my way closer to 30 points along with my 22 assists. This is one for the ages. Trying to get this win. This is just one of those nights I've been putting it out all out on the hardwood tonight. So Damian Lillard and this has been one of our most even matchups, as Dame Dalla has it taken away. Toppin, you better not miss this lob. Going with the 360. Oh my goodness, up top to Toppin, and we take a nice little lead here. Once again, it's another lead change in this ball game. This has been one of the most memorable, insane playoff games of all time, and Lillard will add to that distinction. Falling to his right. It's Dame time here in the Garden. Oh my goodness. My face says it all. I don't know how he keeps doing it, but we gotta pick up the pieces as Montrezl Harrell checks back in. Donnie popping off a screen about 20 feet out. He knocks down the jumper, and Durant hacks him. Once again, and one for New York. I believe that's Donnie's 4th and 1 of just game 2. What a beast number 3 has been all game long. Him and Durant are going back and forth. I know it's Fitz versus Lillard. That's the headlining matchup. But Donnie versus KD and Ferran versus Irving is just as important as we catch a break there. I appreciate the help there, Obi, as I'm at 24 assists. That actually ties an NBA record. But in bigger news, I tell Ferran to run this playback one more time. He's open for the dagger. Ferran puts us up 5, the biggest lead by either team in either overtime period today, along with a new NBA record that has been set in Game 2 of the conference semifinals. 25 assists, more than Stockton, Magic, and Nash ever put up in a playoff game. I know it took me 2 more overtime periods to do it, as Ferran now secures an MVP chance. Donnie did 2 earlier on in overtime. Unfortunately, I accidentally hit the X button on that one. I feel bad. But the more important news is all 3 big 3 members, me, Ferran, and Donovan, all warrant MVP chance in this amazing game. I break an NBA record, and we go on to win 155 to 149 in one of the greatest NBA games you will ever see. And personally, in terms of personal performance, this might be the greatest game of my career performance-wise, personally. This was incredible, and this was definitely the most even Lillard versus Fitz matchup that we've seen so far in the legendary battles we've had over my entire career. And this game has to be, up there for one of the best we've played in this series. Me, Donovan, and Ferran all secure MVP chance. This game goes into double overtime, and this was to go up 2-0 as I break an NBA record for assists in a playoff game, and we go on to win 39 for Ferran after he struggled. He had 6 in the first half, 14 in the fourth quarter, and then 15 more in overtime. We only played 8 minutes of overtime. He had 15 in that. 31, 5, 25, and 3 for me personally. And then Donovan, 4 assists away from a mean triple-double. He almost put up a 20-20 game himself, only missing 3 shots. Toppin added 19, Montrezl added 15, and a couple of pretty impressive bench performances as well as the cherry on top. Looking over at the Nets side of things, we see Lillard put up a pretty awesome performance as well, 45 and 11, but near the end of the game, he kind of shot him out a little bit of, having a chance. Durant's actually the one who led the team in scoring in overtime. And look at that, Irving scoreless in the fourth quarter and in both overtime periods. How about Ferran, man? That's insane that he put up that kind of performance in the extra periods, and he held Irving without a bucket. That's just mind-blowing, and the entire big 3 of the Knicks earned their money tonight for sure. Well, that pretty much seals it today, guys. This was an incredible episode. I had a great time commentating, putting this together. This one was a blast to make, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So next time you see me, we're going to be trying to sweep Brooklyn. I don't think anyone saw that coming, but at the same token, it could just be just as easily Brooklyn up 2-0. So you never know what they'll have in store for us next episode. You guys know the rules. You guys know how it goes. We win one game, and we move on to the conference finals. And if maybe Brooklyn does the unthinkable, come back from down 2 games, they tie it up 2-2, and that means we'll go to a winner-take-all best of 5. A winner-take-all game 5 on a live stream, just like the good old days. So we'll see what we have in store. Brooklyn threw everything they could at us, and it still wasn't enough. Perhaps that'll change next episode. I'm College Sports Revive signing out. Hope you guys were on the edge of your seats on this one. This one was a blast. I'll see you guys later. Peace, everybody.